this week's episode, we talk about nothing and everything and interview Zach Quinn of The Pears.
Clawing his way out of the doldrums, getting sick and tired of coke and rums. We'll just have to wait and see. 'Cause he jumped on the wagon before, only to crawl and beg for more. His bike, just another casualty. His bike, just another casualty. Can you see beyond today's euphoric state? Do you remember how you'll feel tomorrow? All the people that you hate, all the times you've had to wait. Every piece of food you ever ate reminds you of your fate. And he's clawing his way out of a paper bag, reaching for the life that he never had. Ready just one step away, 'cause he's going backwards on a two-track. He's going one step forward and two steps back, getting closer to grave. In the end, there's only grieving. All his goals and pride pulled from thin air. Can you blame him if he's desperate? There's nothing left for him to get. And he doesn't care if the people stare. And they do. Fucking stare! And he's clawing his way out of a paper bag, reaching for the life that he never had. Running just one step away, 'cause he's going backwards on a two-track. He's going one step forward and two steps back, getting closer to grave. Closer to grave. Closer to grave. Closer to grave. Closer to grave.
Welcome in once again to Punk Rock Foodies Radio, coming at you live from downtown Mattersville at the Vicious Pig Saloon. This is your one-stop shop for everything punk rock and food. And now, your hosts, Steve Guerrero, Skate Rat Betty, Brian Reinhardt, and the asshole in charge, Xander T.
All right, that was a 10-foot pole with Closer to Gray, and I am the asshole in charge, Xander T.
Yeah.
And with me at the Vicious Pig, I'm the asshole in charge of Punk Rock Foodie. That's what I'm the asshole in charge of. And
That's what you're listening to.
Just an asshole in charge, wandering around, you know.
You walk into like fucking Target, you're like, I'm the asshole in charge here.
Yeah.
I don't need a red shirt.
You ever accidentally walk into Target wearing khakis and a red shirt?
There was a time when my cable company, we all wore red shirts and khakis, and I would stop every day after work to go pick up whatever, and people would stop me and ask where shit was, and it happened so often that I would point them in directions that I knew was wrong. Just like, yeah, electronics is over that way, and like I'd point them towards
It's over there past the shampoo.
makeup and shit. Yeah, it actually happened a lot. They were identical. The outfits were identical.
Yeah, I once was working at Toys R Us, and I worked, and then I changed my clothes because I was going to shop, but I accidentally changed it almost the exact same outfit.
Oh,
and
God.
so people were stopping me and asking me for help, and I could help them because I worked there, but then I was shopping too, and I was like, I'm an idiot. Why did I wear a red fucking shirt? But anyway.
Hey, you know what I will say real quick, since you played some pulley, our thoughts and positive vibes go out to Scott Rudimsky, who had open heart surgery not too long ago. So get well, buddy. We can't wait to see you tear up the stage, and hope everything's going good for you, man.
Hopefully,
Absolutely.
Maybe when he's 100%, we can get him on the show.
Yeah,
talk
that'd be
to
good.
us.
Awesome.
But
talk baseball and punk rock.
Exactly.
That guy's Angels pitching coach. That's pretty awesome.
That sounds like an interview up your alley there, Steve.
I did not know that.
You didn't know that?
I did not know that.
But and with me at the Vicious Pig Saloon today is...
Steve Guerrero, reporting for duty. Yeah.
And Brian Reinhardt. And we've got Steve's kids with us today, but the children's NyQuil should be kicking in pretty soon at the Vicious Pig. They're hanging out with us right now doing shots.
Yep.
This is a kid-friendly show.
Hey, NyQuil's a gateway drug to Jägermeister. I'm just going to go ahead and say it.
They got to learn eventually.
And it's gin and tonic hot out here in Mattersville today.
It's a
nice,
hot one.
Calm, nice gin and tonic to cool you off and let the kids run around in the little sprinkler they got set up.
Or I wish my kids would put on some clothes, but hey, what are you going to do?
It's fucking
I
hot.
wish you would put on some clothes. Just because we're on the radio doesn't mean you don't have to wear pants.
I wear banana hammocks backwards. It's very comfortable.
You're like Borat. Great success.
It gives me a little more room. Woo!
Got to put those Easter eggs back in the basket. All right.
Yeah, that's not the kind you want to go looking for.
So, Punk Rock Foodies is a Facebook group that basically you just post your pictures of food you made. Like make food, take a picture, post your picture.
It's on the internet, so it's real.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's real life.
So, it's easy. And use a collage app when wanting to show more than one picture.
You post the shit on the page, and then you just hope that Dana Ryan Chase didn't post anything that day, because everyone will ignore your shit if she posts. Did you see that shit that she posted for the Hawaiian
she went
foods?
Straight Master Chef on everybody.
I mean, holy shit!
I don't even know if that was food. Like that could have been like a paint and like it was so many colors and
it was a Monet.
Yeah,
it was a Monet. It was a Matisse.
I'm printing that picture out and posting it like hanging it up in my kitchen just so I can be inspired. Be like, stop being a pussy. You can cook that good. Like,
I put it over my bed and I whack it to the food. It's that good, man. It's delicious.
Happy Harry Hart on here.
Oh wow! Pump up the volume reference.
Yeah.
Only the second one we've ever had on this show, by the way.
Well, somehow we gotta work a Gleaming the Cube reference in somehow.
I love that fucking movie. I love that.
Yeah, it's a great movie. Wow. Christian Slater was the guy.
Did you know that when they played it back on TBS, or back in the day when they would play it back on TBS, it was titled My Brother's Revenge?
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Gleaming the Cube too racy of a title?
I don't know. Maybe it was some weird they got it through the Chinese distributor or something and they translated it wrong,
That sounds like a Lifetime movie title.
Yeah.
Like they were going to have it on the Hallmark Network. Well, we can't call it Gleaming the Cube. We have to call it this.
I love that fucking movie, man. I've been trying to find that movie for a couple of years to show my girls.
That, Thrashin', Rad, all these movies were big time back in the day.
Yeah, and I just love Tony Hawk driving the pizza truck and Gleaming the Cube with smirk on his face.
Oh my god, I forgot about that. It's been a good decade since I've seen that movie.
Yeah, oh yeah. But so anyway, but Punk Rock Foodies is about food and is about punk rock. It's actually about food. The group is about food, but we all like punk rock.
Yes.
So let's listen to some punk rock.
Yeah, I want to start off with some Strung Out, and I know there's a lot of Strung Out fans on our page, and most of them wouldn't agree that this is their favorite album, but it's mine. It's this one's off Black Hawks over Los Angeles. This is Party in the Hills by Strung Out. Punk Rock Foodies Radio. Let's fucking go! Fire up!
My
Okay, we are back on Punk Rock Foodies Radio. That was a band called Bracket with a song called Last Day Sunday, one of my favorites off of Novelty Forever, I think was the name of that record. Very good, underrated band that I believe they broke up long ago, didn't they? Bracket. I haven't heard anything from them in a long time. They used to be on all the Fat Records compilations, and then they just kind of disappeared.
Well, they had that album that had the same logo that NoFX had on their first album. The skull. It was the skull holding his head with the needle through his mouth, and they altered it and made it look like the. No,
they were one of the bands that did the Live in a Dive CDs and I think, and as much as I love the band, theirs was probably the weakest because it was just the sound was terrible, and there were songs where one of the guitars would go out for half the song. But I love Bracket, and that's one of my favorite songs. So anyway, we are back on Punk Rock Foodies Radio.
Yeah!
I am Brian. I'm here with Steve and Xander. And this is we're basically just riffing this week, right? We don't really have anything to talk about.
We got no skate rat, so what are we going to do?
This
She's the actual talent. Yeah. So we're going to talk about penises and balls.
Yeah,
Yes.
Testicular torsion.
When the kids run away. Now the kids are close. We got to start talking about math and English. All right,
Comic Core. 10 plus 4 equals 62. I don't know how that works out, but
Do we need to talk about English? They're Steve's kids.
That's right. Abran los orejas.
call them a Scheißkopf. Yeah, they do German too, so.
They do? Oh, Scheisen in die Hosen.
Yeah. Scheißen in die Hosen.
Yeah, we're not.
learn a lot on
we
this
don't really
show.
have a plan today.
Yeah, well, we could just talk about beers. We could talk about farts. We could talk about bands.
Honestly, the last time we did this, I think it was a great success. So
We can talk about
Great
foods that make you
success.
fart.
How what?
Foods that make you fart.
Well, he did say beers.
Yeah.
You know, it's funny.
Beer doesn't.
I was eating very healthy, and I wasn't drinking, and I was taking.
And then you turned 4 years old.
And then
Kindergarten was the son of a bitch.
Yeah.
I was taking that one.
I had to straighten myself out for third grade, man. Clear my head.
Then I discovered Twix and Nerds, and no, I was taking that
I just sat
one
up one day and I
solid
said,
shit.
you know what, Brian, clear your mind. Pennywise reference.
Drink.
Yeah. Every
Wouldn't
time.
it
We
be-
should have a
wouldn't it be
thing
nice-
on this show. Every time someone makes a Pennywise reference at all or plays a song, we have to drink.
But there's no reason why we should. Oh!
Oh my God! I'm going to finish this beer. Is Pennywise the most played band on this? We've played more Pennywise songs than anything else, haven't we? I would say.
The top three are Pennywise, Lagwagon, or NoFX.
Yeah.
I triumvirate.
I've got a spreadsheet. I can look into it, but
It's not a bad trifecta.
no.
I'm a habitual line snapper. I play Pennywise a lot. We should play some more Bad Religion.
Bad,
I agree.
I know that I think the top five includes Bad Religion and I actually want to say Strung Out. I believe is in the top five. So, oh man,
Every
Yeah.
band from California, basically.
I did like Jim Betty dropping Gorilla Biscuits at the last one. That was I hadn't heard that song in a while. That was good.
yeah. Well, as much as you try to get the Chicago bands in there, Brian.
Hey, someone's got to do it because Chicago's such a small town. It's hard to get them involved.
Yeah.
Nobody here.
Yeah. There are. You know what? That's funny. I didn't even realize how many bands that I really enjoy that are from Chicago.
It's weird because they're from Chicago and then they leave. Like Alkaline Trio, none of those guys have lived in Chicago for 10 years.
Doesn't Derek still live in Chicago? The drummer?
Yeah, Derek. Actually, Derek's in a bunch of bands in Chicago, but Dan lives in Florida. Matt lives in L.A. And then they come back to Chicago. Yeah, we're still Chicago.
They
all right,
get
cool.
together in Texas to rehearse, and then they go on tour.
They're They're the least Chicago band out of Chicago bands. You know what I mean?
I was speaking of Florida. I was actually where Dan lives in St. Augustine recently, and I drank from the Fountain of Youth.
Nice.
That's why I look so young.
Why do you look so old then? Must be that Miller High Life that's
the
canceling
white
it
hair.
out.
Yeah.
The champagne of beers.
It's the champagne of beers. I'm living the high life.
There we go. I got my koozie. I'm ready to go.
Yeah, and Skate Rat
Nape's it.
Where I visited Skate Rat, and she's not even here to talk about
That's
it.
right. How did that go? I saw some pictures. How did that all go?
I survived. I'm here. I'm back. No, it was great. It was good times. You know, we...
You and Mike just touched each other's beards?
Yeah, there was definitely a beard off. I thought my beard... Because I know she makes him trim it.
Yeah.
So I figured, all right, I'm going to go in there, bold-ass beard, right? And open the door, and his beard is just like, boom. Like
magnificent.
Yeah, I was like,
splendorous.
Oh, man, I've got to bow to you.
Dude,
but,
I would imagine being around Michael Barson with, like, even, like, the manliest man, you'd feel a little less manlier. Because that guy's pretty much a man. Like
he wakes up and welds metal together. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like it's so much manlier than any of the shit we do.
Yeah. He like welds his coffee mug together. And then, like,
every morning he welds
a new.
Every morning he welds a brand new one from the drink. Every night he welds their plates for dinner. Brand new set.
He's like out back with a fucking anvil and hammer and like pounding metal and like. But, Chuck
Norris is afraid of that guy.
Yeah, but yeah, it was great. And then they took us to this place called Marsh Landing in Feldspar, something like that. I don't know. And it was like total, like, cracker Florida food. And
it's crazy. You forget. I always forget that Florida is part of the Deep South.
Oh.
Like, I just kind of think of it as just like a big vacation spot and like the Keys and shit. But like the Panhandle is like and I'm no disrespect meant, but it's like it's the deep fucking South.
When I lived in Tallahassee, which is right there in the Panhandle, I would say that area of Florida is the part of America that Georgia didn't want. Like even Georgia stopped and said, "You know what? You're just a little too fucked up for us." You know? You guys keep
right
it,
there.
You know?
That's what all the articles come over. It says Florida man this, Florida man that.
Yeah.
All from right there.
But yeah. In fact, like where they live in Fort Pierce, which is like the second like deadliest city in Florida to live, or some shit like that. And,
oh my God, really?
And that guy that did the shooting in Orlando, he's from Fort Pierce.
Oh God, Jesus.
So like, yeah. So I was so glad to be spending the night there. Obviously.
Well, Skate Rat and Mike, stay safe. You know, stay safe down there, guys.
They're actually wrestling crocodiles right now, so that's why they're
with Mike, you're fine with Mike. I mean,
I was gonna say, I think they got a full clip. They're ready to go. Yeah, they got extra ammo.
Yeah, but the food that we ate, like we got fried alligator, fried green tomatoes, and fried pickles as
that sounds
appetizers.
fantastic.
And
dude, fried green tomatoes are fucking amazing, dude. And I've had
never had
different ways.
Never had it.
When you've had them with cornmeal, like the real South way,
that's kind of all this was. And like Rachel even said afterwards, I was like, they were good. They were really good. And I said I like mine better, and she said the same thing, but because I do it with breadcrumbs and like all kinds of herbs and spices mixed in. Like this was just like cornmeal and fried, and it was good. But Skate Rat ordered, it was like catfish fingerlings, and so it was like the catfish gutted, and then the head cut off, and then they just put it in cornmeal and fried it, and so you ate it like with the bones on and everything, and looked like a fucking like Heathcliff cartoon. Like,
you just pull the bone, the
you got the
skeleton
tail
out of your
and like
mouth.
the bones hanging down. Yeah.
If only it was that easy to eat catfish.
So, and I ended up I got shrimp and grits. Mike had like chicken fried steak or something. I mean, it was like so much fried food, and it was so good. I mean, it was definitely.
How long were you down there for?
We visited Skate Rat and Mike just for the night. Like I was in Florida. Okay. We went to Jacksonville for a wedding, and then we went in on Friday, and then on Sunday headed down to Fort Pierce, and then Monday had to head back. And motherfucker, I rented a car. I'm at the goddamn gas station closest to the airport in Jacksonville. I fill the tank. I'm sitting at the light, and some motherfucker backs out of filling his tank right into the back of my fucking Jeep.
Oh, Jesus.
I'm like, are you shitting me? I drove almost to Miami and back without any incident. and I'm at the gas station less than a mile. Well, this motherfucker he was his rental car too, and it was the same company, luckily, and he got the insurance.
Okay.
So it's like, you bet it's your fucking fault, you know? It's like, you gotta be fucking kidding me.
That's pretty funny, actually.
And he's like, later, he's like, well, you know, thanks, man. We both could have been assholes about this. I'm like, both? You hit me. Like,
How the hell was he going to be an asshole? The only way he could have been an asshole is if he tried to get away.
Yeah, exactly.
We both could have been assholes about this.
But
whatever, man.
But yeah, so it was a great visit down Skate Rat's Way, and it was nice. Got to hang with their dogs. And they are
nice.
some scaredy ass dogs.
Are they?
Oh shit, yeah, man. They bark at you, and you step towards them, they run away. So
really, so they're super skittish and loud.
Yeah.
They look hyper, just like Jen, Skate Rat. She's always taking pictures of them, and they're always blurry. Like the dogs never stop moving. Mm-hmm. Like they're ghosts.
Yeah.
They just seem very active.
The one like cuddled up to Rachel, which was kind of like weird. And she's not a big animal lover, but she took to it.
There was a picture, I want to say yesterday, that Mike posted of him in a pool with holding the dog.
Yeah.
And the dog, just like the look of terror on its face, like, don't let go, don't let go, don't let go, don't let go. Like, please, Dad, like, please hold on, Dad, please hold on, I'm going to die. I'm going to die, I'm going to die, I'm going to die.
I don't want it to end like this.
Yeah. I'm descended from gray wolves. I want to die with my fangs out, not swimming in a pool. Let me defend myself from some monster.
Yeah.
Like, let me fight Liam Neeson in the woods. Like, if I'm a dog, that's how I want to go, against Liam Neeson. I'm not holding onto a pool, drowning in chlorine.
Yeah. But, yeah. So.
Yeah, so that happened.
Right.
What else is going on in your world there, Steve-O, man?
Dude, the kids have markers, and they look like they are at a tattoo convention for kindergartners.
Excellent.
You gave them the highly toxic one that they can smell, right? That we had when we were kids?
Oh, I love it. Mr. Sketch.
Oh, they smelled so good.
You see, you walk out of school with like all kinds of different colors all over your nostrils.
Like, what did you learn today? That purple smells like chocolate, and
and people only notice when you look up from taking all the glue off the palm of your hand. You're like, oh, what?
Yeah. Those markers never got used for anything other than smelling. I never colored anything. They just smelled delicious.
No, man, I love those markers. We have at my school we have Mr. Sketch, but they're not scented anymore.
That's a bunch of bullshit.
Well, I bet that's why. They probably that's why we're all fucked up because we were snorting markers.
Yeah, and I knew kids that would like fucking try to eat them and shit, like they chew on them. That probably was a bad thing.
Yeah, that's
all those kids are in jail now. None of them made it. We all knew back then in third grade, like, that dude's going to end up with some window love at some point. Sorry, Frank Heiserman.
Well, since we're talking elementary school, and you guys ever eaten paste?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
I never.
Yeah, we used to take the Elmer's glue and put it on our hands and let it dry and then peel it.
Yeah.
Like it was skin.
Yeah.
And then we'd eat it.
I still do that.
Yeah.
But you eat
it?
it?
It didn't taste like really anything. Well, we would chew it and then it would get gooey again and we spit it out.
Oh.
I don't remember actually swallowing any glue, but like it was cool. It was like, oh yeah, but it would just end up getting gross. So, and that was at an age where like, we ate everything. Like I would eat worms back then.
Well,
I still would.
Well, we were reading a book in 5th grade, like How to Eat Fried Worms. How to Eat Fried Worms.
Yeah.
And it was one of the best books ever. And my friends and I would go home and we would like go dig up worms and try to figure out ways to eat them. And we were successful a few times.
That's kind of gross, but I guess
it was very gross.
But I guess that's like the true, like that's Adam Zimmerman right there, man. That's foodie extreme.
That's right. Oh man,
dude, that guy looks like Uncle Fester.
Yeah, he does.
Of course, he's doing like bizarre foods. He looks bizarre, dude. He's just a weird looking dude.
Dude,
I guess that guy used to be like a crazy, like down and out drug addict. Have we talked about this before?
He was?
No.
Yeah, Zimmerman, like at one point in his life, was like I don't know if he was homeless, but he was like down and out drug addict, like not quite Anthony Bourdain, but was bottomed out and then like regained, you know,
Really?
and then somehow, despite being what looks to be a flamboyantly gay man, have a super hot wife.
Yeah, he does have a super hot wife. I saw it.
I love that show, by the way. I love that show.
He looks like he could have been a frat boy. You know, like he looks like he could have been a party.
Oh yeah, I could see him with boat shoes and you know, my dad's a lawyer shorts. You know, yeah.
Pink collared shirt
Exactly.
with a sweater around his collar.
Oh,
Penny
yeah.
loafers and no socks. Yep, totally.
Yeah, probably swam at Stanford. You know, we got to drop all those references like once a week.
I specialize in the breaststroke. What do you want me to do?
Oh, no, the breaststroke.
Oh shit!
It's funny because our judicial system's broken.
Oh my god, white privilege is hilarious because I'm white.
I'm surprised he didn't play the affluenza card. I mean, God.
Yeah, what the fuck is up with that? That's such bullshit. Like, I feel somebody who is more affluent should know fucking better than some broke ass motherfucker who doesn't have TV or the internet and doesn't know what the laws are. Like, that's fucking bullshit. Like,
Hey, straight up, that dude from Stanford had zero game. Like, he was just a fucking kook.
Yeah.
And
Rich and some kind of sports star. And I don't know about you guys, but apparently being a swimmer at that school makes you, like, big shit. I can't imagine any school being like, oh, I'm a swimmer. And everyone would be like, who gives a fuck?
Yeah.
But apparently there, you're a big deal if you're a swimmer.
ooh, that's a head diver. Oh, ooh.
Yeah. Like at most
fuck?
schools, it would be like, if you're a swimmer, you probably want to lie. Like, oh, I played lacrosse.
water polo?
Yeah, anything but swimmer. Like, the only thing worse than that is if you're a diver.
Hello, hey. I was a fucking diver in high school.
Oh, my God.
No, okay, let me explain
Well,
it.
that's
out there.
different. You weren't a diver at Stanford that was looked at as demigod. You know, this is.
No, no, not at all. But no, it was me. Okay, so we found out that the diving team, there was no boys diving team. So it's part of the swim team. So my buddy and I, Gary, who's on the page, hey, Gare, Staggerwalt, we used to skateboard together. He was like, I'm going to do the diving team. Because it's basically like skateboarding. You know, you just kind of throw your body out there and do shit in the air. And
You fall elegantly.
yeah. And so I was like, well, fuck yeah, I'll do that with you. And then another dude that we were in school with, obviously, because it was a high school team, joined the team, and he was a cool dude, Andy. And we had no coach. So it was awesome. So there was a swim coach, but there was no diving coach. So we had one girl on the team who dove the year before, so she could explain to us what the dives were. And so we would just go up there and just fucking have fun and throw our bodies and just, try to do, and it was great.
You're like, how many points does a cannonball get?
Yeah. Well, the funny thing was, probably 98% of the schools we would go against, they didn't have a diving team. So we automatically won, so we were just competing against each other. So it was like, we're on a team, but it was an individual sport. And we were all friends, so it wasn't like we were, really like we were happy when somebody beat us. Like it was a good time, man. And then my senior year, we got a coach, and it fucking sucked. And
Yeah. Fuck rules.
oh man, I actually have to come to practice today.
Dude, when I was in high school, the divers were like the toughest. Like they were like the scariest dudes because, like, we had a big diving team, but the school didn't have a lot of money, so they couldn't afford to fill the pool. So those dudes were tough. They were just diving into empty pools, and they were good, man.
They're
so when you
solid.
saw them, you're like respect, bro. None of them made it past the first meet, but they did it, baby. They did it.
Shit. Oh fuck. Let's play some music.
All right. Can I send it out
Yes,
here?
please.
Please
Man,
do.
all this talk about swimming and diving and stuff has me feeling some kind of way. So here's a song about rough sex, "Mutilate Me" by Teenage Bottle Rocket.
Yeah! Punk Rock Foodies Radio.
It's been a little long time now. When you ought to know by now, the crazy thoughts running loose in my brain.
suggest you go to your room and ask the Lord Jesus to help you. And don't forget to tell your mother you're sorry.
Dillinger 4 with Ode to the North American Snake Oil Distributor. You're listening to Punk Rock Foodies Radio, and you too should ask Jesus for forgiveness.
Y'all motherfuckers need Jesus.
Y'all motherfuckers need Jesus.
So today,
I know a dude named Jesus. Is that good enough?
So today we got no Skate Rat. So you all know what that means. That means we really have nothing to talk about except for whatever we want to talk about. So
the boys are boozing.
Woo. Even more dick jokes than usual. So, anyone been watching that UEFA EuroLeague soccer shit?
I actually have. I've actually caught some of it.
Because I haven't.
Any chance I get to see Austria on TV, I jump at it. I watched the 0-0 tie, and I loved it, and I drank beer during the whole 90 minutes.
Dude, you enjoyed the 0-0 tie?
I did, because Portugal is a good team, and Austria, I thought, still played great, and even though it was 0-0 tie, it was good for Austria because they need to get better.
Portugal has the one man on earth that I absolutely would change places
Ronaldo?
with. If I could, yeah. I'm pretty content with my life. I'm pretty content with my life, but I absolutely would trade places with Ronaldo right now today, because nobody deserves to be that young, that rich, that good looking, that good at what he does, and basically just have everything. You know what I mean? Like, that's a guy who's pretty much, he's set. You know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't trade places with Bill Gates because he's old and weird looking, but Ronaldo is like, he's like, you know what I mean? Like, I'd probably make
gay for Ronaldo. We know.
I'm gay for Ronaldo.
I'd rather change places with George Piqué, who's a Spanish defender, but he's also married to Shakira. So there's that.
Oh, yeah, that's a thing. That's a thing.
Those hips.
They don't lie. Who's the dude that always bites people? Who's the dude? I think he plays
Suarez.
for
Luis Suarez.
Yeah, he plays for who does he play for?
Right now he plays for Barcelona. FC Barcelona. Yeah.
Is he? So he's Spanish?
No, he's actually Uruguayan or Paraguayan.
He's probably playing in the Copa. America.
Okay, yeah. And whenever I start thinking about soccer, I always think about who's that dude that's always fucking biting
I always
people.
think about the guy that headbutted the guy. What's his name? Zinedine Zidane?
Oh, yeah.
Zinedine
Guy from
Zidane.
France. The French guy.
What a great name, though. Zinedine Zidane. Your ZZ.
There's a great...
That's a great name.
There's a great Family Guy bit where he's a... he said, I was worse than when... how do you say his fucking name?
Yeah.
What is it? Zinedine was a... whatever it was, a fucking like singing telegram guy, and the person opened the door and he headbutted her right in the chest. It's like Amelia never got the joke. Like there's a lot of references on Family Guy people don't get, and especially kids.
Yeah.
So I showed Amelia the video clip of that happening, and then she was like, "That's the funniest thing ever," like,
dude. It was against Italy in the World Cup, 2008 or 2012?
Yeah, it was a couple years back.
The Italian defender said something about his sister. That's where the headbutt came from.
Awesome.
Something like your sister's a whore or something like that.
The only name in sports that's ever been better than his weird name is back in the 90s when ESPN2 was pretty much only showing strongman competitions all the time, where they'd be like throwing
I
tries
know
and
who
shit.
you're going to say.
There was a guy named Magnus
for Magnuson.
And it was always like, that's his fucking name? Is Magnus for Magnuson? Like that, so that's like, it's like the manliest name ever. Like even a Viking would be like, that's an awesome fucking name.
So, a name good enough they used it twice, Like,
they're like, screw it, let's just keep going with this name theme and just continue it to the end.
Since we're talking about names, one of the names I always thought was fucking hilarious, it sounded like something out of an Urban Dictionary for like a gnarly blowjob, was Chuck Knobloch.
Yeah.
Dude, if you got Chuck Knobloch, I don't know, man. I don't know if that's a good thing.
Well, you want to get here comes the nerdiness, man. I played World of Warcraft for years, and I was a wizard. I was a mage, and his name was Knobloch. And everyone thought it was named after Chuck Knobloch, and I'm like, no, that was just the name I had in my head. It has nothing to do with the Yankees second baseman.
But what doesn't Knobloch mean? Garlic in like German or something like that?
I don't know. It was just like when I played it, I just had like this name in my head, and it might be German. Who knows? Maybe that came from my subconscious, from my ancestors. But, so whenever I hear of Chuck Knobloch, I think of my World of Warcraft character.
As long as you didn't receive a Chuck Knobloch, then you're good.
Yeah. Well, the Cubs for a long time had a bench coach named Dick Pole.
Yeah.
I called him the immortal Dick Pole.
Or the NASCAR racer Dick Trickle.
Yeah, Dick Trickle.
Which,
best name ever. Best name ever.
I woke up in the morning sometimes with a little Dick Trickle.
What about Rusty Cunts?
That's probably too.
But it's not. And it's the best part is he doesn't pronounce it Kuntz.
No, I wouldn't
it's
either.
Cunts. Yeah.
What was the guy? I think it was like an Arkansas coach. Arkansas football coach.
Oh, I know who you're talking about. I can't think of his name now.
It was the funniest article because like the quarterback's name was Johnson. And they were like, and he wasn't going to play, and it was some other guy who was going to play who had just as like phallic of a name, and it was like, what was the hell was his name? Fuck.
I know who you're talking about, but I can't think of it now. There was a thing in the news a few years ago. I want to say it was in Ohio, where there was an old politician from years ago named Harry Balls, but it was spelled Baals, because it was at a time when balls didn't mean that, so the family later changed the pronunciation to Harry Bales. But there was a petition to name a federal building or something like that, and the petition, everyone voted for Harry Balls because they wanted to name it the Harry Balls, whatever. And it won. It won in a landslide, but the city's council denied it because they didn't want to call it Harry Balls, whatever
the halls of Harry Balls.
Yeah, and they're like they were interviewing like his grandkids and like, well, back then balls didn't mean this, and they had changed it to Bales long ago. So you can Google it, Harry Balls. Harry Balls. But be careful when you Google Harry Balls. Be careful because something might pop up that you don't intend for.
What's the other one that don't Google it? Blue Waffle.
Yeah, Blue Waffle.
Something like that.
If you Google Gary Oldman, make sure you remember the R.
Uh-oh.
Oh, no. God.
Oh, no.
God. Jesus Christ, man.
No, but my roommate...
And you're listening to Punk Rock Foodies Radio.
Yeah. Breaking new ground.
My roommate in college had his dad had a boss named what was it? Was it Dick Aiken?
Oh boy!
So he used to call him Sorecock.
Oh boy!
Oh,
Here it is.
man.
Houston Nutt was the coach for Arkansas.
That's what it was. That was a great name.
And so, like, the
Best name
article
ever.
was hilarious. It was like, Nutt chooses Johnson over, or like Dickens, like play quarterback or something.
And it's a total Bush League move.
Big shout out to a girl I knew in grade school. Her name was Gretchen Dick, and there were all these untrue rumors that her dad's name was Harry and her mom's name was Anita, but those were not their names. But it was. I remember being like, "Your name is Gretchen Dick? What's your day-to-day life like?"
I knew a guy who named his daughter. His last name was Dickoff, and named his daughter
God.
Tara.
Oh boy! Oh man! Oh no!
Tara Dickoff.
Oh no!
I got a buddy named Brad Bull, and I kept telling him to name his daughter Tara. Tara Bull, but
Wow!
he went with Philip a Bull, Philip Alexander Bull.
Philip a Bull.
Philip
Nice.
Dude, so I got a bunch of friends from college that we've been friends for 20 years, and every time we go to a bar or something, you gotta put your name in. Everybody rushes to fuck with somebody else. And the best name that I've ever been clowned on is last name Ener, first name Gabe.
Gabe.
Oh no!
Table for Gabe Ener. Gabe Ener.
Nice.
Wow!
That's a good one for you.
Is that our Mexican
There's your
moment? Of the week?
Mexican moment. See, I've always...
Pretty awesome.
Gabe, table ready for Gabe Ener. Gabe Ener.
I always put in...
Was this every time you went over to Moe's Bar in Springfield?
Yeah, pretty much.
I always say da-da-pa-pa-pa. So then they're like, da-da-pa-pa-pa party at 4? Da-da-da-pa-pa-pa party at 4?
Wow.
Oh, man. That's awesome.
Speaking of restaurants, we are a food show.
We tied it all back in.
Professionals here. It takes a long way around, but we get there.
At this point right now, Skate Rat is doing a facepalm listening to this podcast. Like,
Yeah.
Jesus.
She's the only one who's made it this far into the episode.
I can't leave these boys alone for 45 minutes ever again.
even our moms are like, fuck this shit.
Your mom listens?
Yeah, and she makes it. She holds out to the bitter end most weeks, which is tough. She's
Sorry,
like the only
Debbie.
one.
Yeah. Debbie
Yeah.
Reinhardt in the house. Cheers to you.
Cheers, Mom.
Oh, yeah, there we go. That's good stuff.
But, yeah.
This show is a lot more fun when I'm drunk.
Drunk shows are the best.
You guys,
know,
you guys are a lot
hey,
funnier when I'm drunk.
Speaking of being drunk and doing shows, when I was in Florida, Mike was very adamant about sending us some Florida beers and doing another drinking show.
I'm pretty much any Sunday is good for me, man. So we'll let them know any Sunday. Now you're done with school, right? And it kind of depends on Steve's schedule.
Oh, I'm good Sundays. Let's do it early so I can just get drunk.
That's kind of fun.
Yeah, we'll do it at like noon, 1 o'clock, and then we can take our naps and still have dinner with our families.
Yeah. Yeah, well, do
right.
realize
We'll
noon,
let
1
Mike know
o'clock
that we're
our
ready.
time. That's 9 o'clock Steve's time.
Yeah, that's true.
You're saying
So,
it's like it's a bad
Look
thing.
it out for you, dude.
Well, we can do
Don't
it.
want
We
you to
can,
get
okay, well,
in Dutch
we can
with the
figure out
wife.
like 1, 2 o'clock. My time, so it'll
I'll do
be
a
2 or 3
breakfast
o'clock. Oh yeah, we can do breakfast beers.
Yeah.
Down with me.
All I want
Yeah,
to
'cause
do
once-
is drink beer for breakfast.
Yeah. Once he does that, then I can follow up. Then it's my turn to send you guys all some stuff for an episode.
Yeah.
Yes, if you haven't listened, we did an episode back in December where I sent everybody beers and we all drank them, and it was a glorious episode. It was our Christmas party, actually. Yes,
It was, and I remember the first half of the episode. I listened to the second half a couple times. Like, I don't remember any of this conversation. Like, it just devolved into just like making fart noises
talking
and
about peeing out
like,
of the bottom of your shorts.
arguing over who's gonna pick the next song. Yeah, man,
Christmas episode is a glorious episode.
Dude,
got to do it again.
I remember that because like you guys were done at like 7, I was done at 4, and I was lit, and I walked over to the neighbor's house with the kids, and like, hey, let's go play over here at these guys' house because they have beer.
Yeah, I ended up waking next morning and looking at my bank account and saying, what did I spend $75 on?
Oh, yeah.
She was like, what were you guys doing? You guys were loud as hell. I'm like, we were creating art, baby.
Yeah.
Well, we'll be creating art again soon, hopefully.
Well, that raw was pretty awesome. It was
very good.
That was a good
RAR IPA.
I actually saw it out here recently. I actually saw it. Yeah, I wasn't in a position where I was able to really buy anything at that point. I just had too much, and there's only so much I could keep around the house. But I did actually see some. So I couldn't. That was where I saw. I knew I recognized it from somewhere. Now I know that. Yeah, that was one of the ones that you'd sent.
Yeah, we're actually this weekend. Rachel's uncle lives in San Diego, and he is a certified brewmaster, judge and shit. I don't know what the story is, but he's in the Cicerone program, so he's got credentials where he can judge beer competitions and shit like that. So he's actually coming out, I guess, this weekend, and her dad is gonna take him to the brewery that's now, thank God, 7 minutes from my house, and
nice.
But we're gonna be in New York. But we're coming back Saturday, so hopefully maybe we can make it back because it's weird because they're open from 4 to 8. That's it. Thursday through Saturday, 4 to 8.
Is it a newer brewery? Is it new?
Yeah, it opened in
December. There's one near me called Windmill that has weird hours. New breweries tend to have these weird hours because nobody knows who the fuck they are, so nobody comes in. So they'll be open for 30 minutes here, 2 hours there.
I stopped in the one day and picked up a 3-pack of their big fucking 32-ounce silo cans, and the place was packed.
Wow.
And it was like 4:30. They opened at 4. The place was packed. It's like fuck.
What are they called again? Who are they?
We're a Deca.
Okay. Shout out.
And you know what? And I want to send you guys some of their beer.
Look, I will go on record right now. Whoever wants to send me beer at any time, go ahead and fucking do it. I'm good with that.
Dude, I've got a Bottle Logic shipment coming your way soon.
Okay. I will return the favor immediately. I've got lots of good stuff for you.
The double actuator right now is my favorite Dippa, and it is fucking heavenly, dude. And I don't even like Dippas, but that Dippa,
For those of you listening, Dippa is double IPA.
Yes, for those not in the know. I know I had told you guys that I had an old friend of mine that I haven't seen in a few years, lives out in Texas now. I'm still buddies with his mom on Facebook, and she sends me a message. She sends me a message on Facebook like 10 o'clock one night late, and she goes, hey Brian, I know you like artisanal beers, right? And I go, yeah. And she goes, well, we're clearing out our office building, and there's a big cabinet with a bunch of beers. Do you want them? And I go, dude, yeah.
You sent me a picture of that, and how somebody could leave those beers behind is fucking beyond me, dude.
Dude, she's like, yeah, just pick them up. I know you like beers, so come pick them up. I'll just give them to you. I'll box them up. I go up there, and
you didn't know what to expect.
I had no idea what was in there. There were 6 KBSs. There were 4 Bourbon Counties. A bunch of stuff from Perennial. A bunch of stuff from Upland.
Two parabolas.
Dude, 2 parabolas. 2 of the other ones from Firestone Walker. I had Cava. I had a blue jean porter from Revolution. I went on Rate Beer and did all these things. I had $500 worth of beer, which is now in my cupboard. I was like, thank you, Brenda Spangler. Thank you very much. Thank you for realizing that I like artisanal beers. So my cupboard got restocked real quick, very quickly. It was incredible, man. I had I was down to 2 Bourbon Counties left, and I added some more. So
poor you.
I know, God.
After this case and the next case, we only have 2 cases left.
I've only got 17 double-digit ABV beers in my fridge. I'm running low.
Yeah. Dude, well, look, half the Bourbon Counties this year were infected anyway, so a lot of them were bad.
Well, it's a great thing that the craft beer movement happened because it masks our alcoholic problems.
Oh,
with,
yeah. Our alcoholism is now a hobby.
We just got eccentric taste now. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Hey, I'm going to my friend's house, but it's not a party. We're just going to try we're going to open some bottles and try them out.
Yeah.
Some craft beers. Yes.
Yeah. The problem is, you open a bottle and then fucking 15 guys whip out their phones and go on Untapped or whatever and check themselves in. Yeah, I don't do that, but all my friends do, and I find it completely annoying.
I check into Untapped quite often, but I like just keeping track of my own beers. I don't really post pictures or anything like that, but I like keeping track, especially if I get a 5-star beer, then I'm like, oh, dude, I had this beer the other day called El Guapo. Mm-hmm. It was a fucking...
Of course you did.
Cucumber, lime, habanero blonde ale, and it was fucking amazing. Like, dude, the cucumber and lime hit you first, and then you just got that little habanero kick at the end. But it was, so good.
The cucumber and lime is so refreshing.
Dude, on a blonde ale, it just really worked. Oh, good stuff.
Who made it?
I don't remember.
It was called El Guapo?
It was so good, I don't remember.
I remember it was called El Guapo.
So it's like Mexican Italian. El Guapo.
Anyway, we should play some music.
Punk Rock Foodies. If you guys made it this far, pour yourself a drink.
Exactly.
Drink with us, because we're not going to remember this conversation.
It's not going to get any better, so just...
The more you drink, the better well, not really, because we're drinking too, so...
Yeah, it's like the NBC thing. The more you drink, instead of the more you know.
Okay, hey, Steve,
here you go.
You know what you have to do. You know what you have to do.
Let's fire up Photoshop.
Yeah, that can be the new banner on Punk Rock Foodies. The more you drink.
The more you drink. Oh man.
No,
I like
shit.
it.
All right. Well, why don't we wrap this up?
Let's come back for a third segment. Come on.
I'm up for it.
Yeah. All right. Let's do some music, and we'll come back for a third.
We'll do it live.
Right,
look at. See, the marker won.
So,
my goodness,
the marker
that's
wins. So, we come back, and we actually got Zach Quinn of The Pears, the band. And he's got a new solo album with 1 Week Records. We're going to talk to him.
Speaking of hairy balls, we got The Pears.
Those are some hairy guys. I love The Pears.
They are punk as fuck, dude.
Zach wears long pants and no shirt on stage because he's running around. Obviously, you're hot, but then the pants...
Yeah, man.
Put some shorts on.
I don't get it. At least some jorts. Act like you're from St. Louis.
Somebody's got to bring the Henry Rollins style back. Just black, like those elastic trunks. They're
God.
thigh high.
And then everybody in the front row gets to see your bits and pieces.
I used to wear a Speedo when I was on the diving team.
Oh, boy.
All right,
Shaving
let's play
pool
some
Nazis.
music so we can come back for more.
How about some fucking thrice up in this bitch? Let's do
Yeah.
a Deadbolt. Woo! Punk Rock Foodies Radio. Let's go.
This is the
8 years ago on a summer night on the streets of LA was our first fight. Turned out to be the first of many more. The country was all in uprise. Who to blame and who to fight, who to kill and bomb, to settle the score. You said, my love, in times like these, you don't dare question the president. And I raised my voice to the girl I most adore. Said, I know it's hard for you to see, but I will not blindly follow one who blindly leads, no matter what the cause. 3,000 dead in NYC, and now 3,000 more across the sea. No one can tell me what for. And I'm not one to say I told you so, but time has passed, and now we know that, honey, I was right about the war. A rich man's chess game is called a war, and the pawns they use are named the poor. But no one ever wins. And I say for shame on anyone who orders young men to shoot a gun for these gods you all kill and die so easily for. And my dear, the end is coming soon, not for the earth, just me and you, and every other soul who shares the world. Kill 1,000,000 men, but ideas will still endure. People would not meant to shoot for sport. God damn it, I was right about the war.
And that was Smoke or Fire with Porch Wine. Then try to calm it down a little bit, but we're going to fire it right back up here on Punk Rock Foodies Radio, because we are ladyless and we are drinking and we're having a good old time. You know what it is? Skate Rat's sober, and she's been sober for 10 years, but now she's also pregnant, so it's like...
Yeah.
And
the best part about her is she's sober, but she remembers that life, and she knows how to deal with dudes that are still in that life.
Absolutely.
And she's good at corralling us, and when she's not here, it's a nice change. I prefer when she's here, but when she's not here, we kind of let it all hang out, and we realize
literally
how much
sometimes
we really need her. We need her influence.
Yeah.
Yeah. She basically polices us, and by ourselves, we cannot be policed. So
she is the brains of this operation. Let's be honest.
And the beauty. I mean, we're just we're the liver of this operation.
We are three ugly guys.
Together we make one liver.
I have to take a pee. Can I borrow your kidney? Or is it kidneys or uterus? What makes you pee? I don't even know. I'm not. Look, I'm no geologist. Okay.
For you, it's your uterus. You're no biologist.
In Uterus is my favorite Nirvana album.
It really was a good album. Oh boy.
I like Incesticide.
Hey, you know what? While we have this moment right here, dude, have you guys seen the Netflix documentary Jocko on Jocko Pastorius, the bass player?
No.
Dude, it's amazing. You guys need to see that. And anybody listening to this podcast, if you guys are really musician, lovers, dude, he was
Jocko.
Jaco. Jocko.
Jaco.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he was. The documentary itself was produced by Robert Trujillo, which is from Suicidal Tendencies and now Metallica. And Flea's interviewed, and like all these other bassists that we really love nowadays were influenced by this guy. So it's a must watch. It was amazing.
Okay.
It's on Netflix?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'll check it out as soon as I'm done with the OJ documentary.
Oh, I need to watch that next. That's my next viewing. But what we'll say about Jocko is like, dude, he's playing like these like 1940s, 1950s songs are played by like saxophone guys. He's playing it on the bass guitar and hitting it note for fucking note. It totally blew my mind. Totally.
Nice.
That's awesome.
Okay, I'll check it out. I enjoy that kind of shit.
Can I tell you a funny story about my brother and bass guitar?
Go ahead.
So my brother plays piano. My older brother, the one
Eli?
No, my older brother Adam, who I don't get along with very well, but he's family.
Is Eli younger than you or older than you?
Eli's younger than me. Eli is 2.5 years younger than me. Adam's about a year and a couple of months older than me. But he's just kind of a dick and kind of a douche. But he played piano.
He probably says the same thing about you, and you're probably both right.
Yeah. We are.
He's kind of an asshole.
Yeah, he's the asshole in charge. He thinks he's in charge of everything.
And the only reason I'm going to talk about him is because I know he'll never listen to this, even though it's something that I do, and he's my brother, and he knows I do it, but he'll never listen. And if he does, fuck him, he gets to hear what I have to say. So, he played piano. He plays piano. He took lessons. He stopped taking lessons. Took lessons again. He's really good. I mean, he can listen to a song and he can sit down at the piano, and within like 5 or 10 minutes, he's playing the fucking song. So I mean, he's got the ear.
He's that talented.
Yeah, he's got it. But then, like every song he writes, it sounds like the same song. But anyway, every song he ever plays is shit to like make my mom and dad happy. So it's like doo-wop shit, oldies, and like Mariah Carey and like shit like that. And like, you know, I learned to play the guitar. I wanted to play the stuff.
All I want for Christmas.
Oh my god, that song is the funniest thing. When my brother will start he'll play the slow part, and then when he does the my mom's ass shakes like Shakira. Like she gets into it. And it's
Tell us more
what
about
the
your
fuck?
mom's
It's the
ass.
funniest thing. He can be playing anything and just stop and start doing the and she'll just go nuts. It's hilarious. it's so. I remember one Christmas he's playing around and he just did it. And she started shaking and we all laughed and she just stopped. She's like, "Oh fuck you! Play the song." But anyway,
have you guys seen the documentary on Ginger Baker? Beware of Mr. Baker.
No.
Do you know who Ginger Baker is?
Yeah.
No.
He played drums in Cream with Eric Clapton.
Oh, okay.
And he's considered one of the best drummers ever, but he's a notoriously bad guy, drug addict, and kind of let his life fall to shit. But he's considered one of the best drummers ever. There's a documentary called Beware of Mr. Baker about how like he's cut off from the world, lives in like South Africa, and like the story of his life and just how horrible a person he is, but how insanely talented he is. If you have a night where you got nothing to do, look up Beware of Mr. Baker and you're going to love it. I'm not a fan of Cream. I don't give a shit about classic rock, but it is an amazing documentary, amazing music documentary about a guy who is just a genius, but just a bad guy.
I'll
bad
look into
guy.
it.
So check it out.
So back to my brother and this bass.
Oh, I'm sorry.
story.
I thought you were done, dude.
No. I haven't even started. I'm giving the background. Now. I'm giving the background.
Okay.
So anyway, he plays the piano. He's got some music background, right? But it's all this bullshit. So he goes on a date with this girl who takes him to some concert. I don't even know who the concert was for, but it was like he's on the floor of this like arena, and the opening act is Sly and the Family Stone.
Oh wow!
So he's standing there and he's watching, and apparently this is him relaying the story back to me. And the bass player, he was just amazing, and he's finger picking it, and just like he's going. It was fucking amazing. It was just fucking amazing. I just couldn't believe it. It was just so fucking amazing. I mean, just like it's like amazing, the greatest thing he's ever seen in his entire life, right? So he relays that story to me and to my little brother. Then he tells me later that he's sitting there in this like almost front row of this arena. I don't know who. For some reason, I want to say it was a Prince concert, but I don't think it was Prince because he would have said something to me when Prince died. But anyway, he looks back. The fucking bass player is like sitting behind him. The bass player from Sly and the Family Stone. So he says something to him like, "Oh man, that was just amazing watching it." So he's telling me, and he tells me and tells Eli this, and Eli ends up calling me, and we're like, you ever hear Matt Freeman of Rancid? Like, it's like, this is not, like, yeah, he's probably really good. But this isn't anything new to us, you know? Boys to Men's bass player, not that great, you know?
Not impressed.
Nope.
Les Claypool.
But yeah, so there's my brother's story and me relaying the story. So
sweet.
Yep.
Cool story, bro.
Thanks.
Bartender,
I totally interrupted his story because I thought he was done and just went into my own shit. This is what happens when we do a third segment, man.
Yeah.
This is the Beyond part of the Bed Bath & Beyond. We've officially reached that point.
Well,
I can no longer operate a vehicle.
And there's no reason to. Ugh, excuse me.
Staying in watching the Cubs tonight.
I'm walking down 7-Eleven here in a second, taking the kids for Slurpees and getting myself another 6-pack.
Perfect.
Yeah. So am I gonna get midnight text messages, Steve, about how you wish we were neighbors?
What's that?
Am I gonna get midnight text messages where we're talking about how we wish we lived next to each other?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, good. Because bring it. We always say that when Steve and I are drinking, like one of us will text the other, like, dude, I wish we were neighbors, man. And the other person's like, yeah, man, I wish that too, dude.
Well, dude, okay, last week was Orange County Beer Week, and there was a couple times I texted you because I went to the bar by myself, and there's no other, like, I don't know who would appreciate what I was drinking.
When you're every time you go to a bar, and I'll set this rule now. From now on, whenever I'm in a bar that has a chalkboard with all the different beers, I will take a picture of it and text it to you guys, and I will expect the same from you because I'm interested when you're somewhere in SoCal or Xander, you're somewhere out, and I want to see what is there. Because I want to see if I recognize any of it. And if I see something interesting, I'll say, what's that? Taste that, and you let me know what that is, and I will reciprocate. So
dude,
I think that should be a standing rule going forward.
So last week, Bottle Logic had a tap takeover at our local gastropub, and I went for a specific beer. The beer was called Leche Borracho. It is a milk stout.
Again, the Mexican names.
I know. It's aged in bourbon barrels and tequila barrels. So you got the spiciness of the tequila, but the sweetness of the bourbon. Dude, I actually went back the next day just to have another glass because it was that mind blowing. It was so good.
That happens.
Yeah, you sent me the chalkboard. It looked like some pretty good shit on there.
Yeah, everybody was there for the fundamental observation, which is their imperial stout aged in bourbon barrels, and I had it. And it's not something that was totally new to me, but the tequila bourbon barrel aged milk stout was totally. Oh God, that was. It didn't get much better than that beer.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right. Well, speaking of beer, let's go get some more.
Yeah.
Let's.
Now it's time to say goodbye to all our listeners.
Both
of them.
Are you pluralizing
Thanks, Mom and Dad.
Let's play some music, and when we come back, we'll have Zach Quinn of the Pears. So, who would like to send us off here?
All right. No, you went out last time. No. I'm going this time.
My bad.
The Refused Deadly Rhythm on Punk Rock Footies Radio. I'm going to go grab a beer.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to drink it.
I think you should.
Does that mean everybody should grab a beer right now?
Yeah. Actually, yeah.
Miguel from Teenage Bottle Rocket, and you're listening to Punk Rock Foodie Radio.
On an infinite decline. Yeah! What the difference in religion powers? The legends only real when it Drag your fingers through the distance you have. Living another moment night.
And that was Snowflake by the Pears. And on the phone with us now is Zach Quinn of the Pears. How you doing, Zach?
Hey, I'm doing all right. Just sitting around doing more of my favorite things, waiting to play, which is, probably, I think, 85% of this gig, hanging out at bars waiting to play.
Well, yeah, I guess when you think about it, you guys, you do like a 30, 40-minute set, like in a 24-hour day. Yeah, most of your time is waiting.
Most of it, it's not even like the music part is the fun part. I guess like the job part of it is not losing your fucking mind. Waiting between from show to show or like the drives. I mean, that's the hard part.
Yeah. So, for any of our listeners who don't know about the Pears, could you give us like a brief history of the band?
Sure. We started in early 2014. Cut a record right out of the gate and started touring in August that year. And we essentially have been touring since. I mean, more or less. I think the volume has gone up as things have gotten more intense, and then Fat Wreck happened, and then we started touring more and more, and now I've been home for 15 days since February, and not all at once either. I guess that's the brief version of it. We're workhorses.
Yeah,
for sure.
And home is New Orleans, or Nolens?
Yes. Yeah. Well, you'd never catch one of us saying it that way. Yeah.
Right. Great city.
Oh yeah, best city in the world. If I may say so. I mean, maybe I'm a bit biased, but
no, I've said it before on the show. I think it's an amazing city. The music in the city, and then the food is probably the most American, like true American food. Like, it's such a conglomerate of all cultures that, like, it's some of the best food in the world.
That's true. It really is it's mishmash everything.
Yeah. Well, we'll talk about food in a little bit, but so you guys you did you cut the record, you got signed with Fat. What was that like? I mean, that's Fat Records is one of the top
Yeah.
punk label, so it's got to feel good.
Yeah, it really does. Signing to Fat was a completely surreal experience, especially, we've been a band, I think, for 15 months or 14 months when it happened. So it's kind of like, and of course, it had to be when they were doing the Fat 25, shows, 25 years of Fat Records. So they ended up putting us on a couple of those shows, and it's like incredible. It's incredibly jarring to go from being not signed to Fat Records to not only sign to Fat Records, but then drop into a backstage area with every Fat Wreck band that is, that you've been listening to since you were like a kid.
Yeah.
That was a really, really intense, bizarre, really scary thing.
I can imagine.
To like just be standing back there and then like everybody is around you, that was totally fucking weird. I think the only thing weirder was, the Flatliners, it must be weirder for them. I think they were really young. We're all, mid to late 20s, but I think they were like super young when it happened. I'm not sure, but.
Yeah, I can't imagine, I interviewed Joey Cape just this past year, and it was like, I've seen him since, in concert with Lagwagon since I was like 21 years old, and it's like, wow.
Right.
And that's just one guy. I can't imagine being in a room with, all strung out and no effects, and, that's
man.
crazy.
It was really, really fucking weird. It was scary, intense.
Yeah. But, hey, so I don't know if you're willing to talk about it, because I don't know what happened, but what happened in Australia?
Well, there's a couple of things about Australia. The one of the big ones happened right before it, which was our player at the time decided to let us know he's not coming 2 hours before the flight.
Yeah.
He had been lying to us for days about being on his way to the West Coast to meet up with us to fly over. And, 2 hours before we left, it kind of all came, flooding out, like all the truth. And he was still in Atlanta, and, it was a nightmare. For a tour like that, we were support,
Right.
For Strung Out. And how that works is we had already been paid for that tour, and we used that money to buy tickets, one of which went straight down the toilet because he wasn't coming. And so it's we can't really not do the tour.
No, right.
We paid for the tour already. So it's and totally, we could have, all things considered, we could have done that, but we weren't about to, So we were just we have to figure out how to do this. Either, do the awesome thing and truck through it. And now, what ended up happening is we have what we refer to now as the Down Under Six. There's 6 people all together, I think, played bass or paired while we were there. We were there for a month. Pat from the Decline did most of it. After a week and a half, he jumped on for the rest of the tour, and that was that. It kind of went back to normal. Aside from the fact that I had broken bones in my hand and shattered my carpal, which was lovely. I was doing I did an Iron Man landing, essentially. How he lands with one fist in the ground.
Yeah. Ow.
Yeah. I did that in the middle of the set and just decimated my fucking head. It was funny. I couldn't feel anything at the time because, I was it was adrenaline and it didn't hurt, but it looked ridiculous. And I turned around and looked at Jarrett between thumbs and I was like, look at this. And he was like, oh no! And then we just kept going, and after the show, there was no oh, maybe it's okay, maybe we'll ice it. Just walk off the stage time to go to the hospital. See you guys later.
And I saw Jordan Burns played bass for you guys in one of the shows, and
oh, not Jordan.
Rob.
Well, Jordan's their drummer. Rob.
Oh yeah.
Rob
Chris. I want to think Chris Aiken.
At one of the shows, Chris played bass on several of the shows, but
right.
it was just different songs. It we actually like switched out bass players several times since then.
Yeah.
Until Pat, of course.
Gotcha.
And then Hayden from Night Gaunt did our two New Zealand shows, and that I have to shout that out too, because man, he played 2 shows and he learned all that shit for 2 shows, and he learned it really well. I mean, it was great. It was great. Both Pat and Hayden were just fucking awesome. Saved the day.
So who's the bass player now?
Now we've got my buddy Eric Goodyear. Me and that dude have been friends for I think 11 years. And every time it's been time to fill the bass slot in this band, I've said we should get that guy. And even from the get-go. But early on, Alex carried over from the Lollies, which makes sense.
Right.
Which is our band before. And then John, the guy that bailed on us, was Brian's brilliant idea. And I knew that guy was fucking nuts, honestly. I mean, I knew it was going to be a bad idea. But finally, after that, it was like, okay, Eric, and now everything's really kind of wonderful. It's the first time, I mean, like, we're, I feel like we're hanging out all the time, which is cool,
Yeah, that definitely makes a difference. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mentioned Joey Cave earlier. I'm assuming the fact that, like, being on Fat, you get that recognition now, and Joey tapped you as one of his, he wanted to do a 1 week records with you, which is 1 week at his house, just nailed down a bunch of songs. What was that like?
When that whole thing started, I mean, like, when I got out there, I did a pretty decent job putting away the sort of, like, star-struck, like, that, like, feeling, like, oh my god, like, I kind of, like, and also at that point, I mean, we had toured with Lag Lagman, so, like, I was pretty comfortable just around them in general,
Yes.
But it's always scary, like, working with somebody new, and especially, like, when you're in a situation where it's like, I can't go home and not go back if it doesn't work,
Right.
But, like, it's like every bit of, like, worry or trepidation, like, just dissipated almost, I mean, like, very, very quickly. I mean, like, he was very easy to work with, and he's so smart. I mean, I brought out, like, all these songs, and I kind of left them, like, mostly unfinished. Or not mostly, but, like, partly unfinished, like, each one. Like, save a few that were, like, old band songs, which were done. And I really got to sit down and work with him and, like, figure out how to make these, like, songs work. And it was really, really fun. I mean, he's a brilliant songwriter himself, and it was almost like having a songwriting coach for a week. It was really cool.
That's awesome. Now, like, the Pears songs, some people would describe it as, like, hardcore punk, and there's some, like, almost like screaming, and, I mean, it's pretty intense music.
Sure.
And then you go to doing this acoustic. Like, how was that for you? Was it almost like cathartic in a way, like being able to shift gears? Or?
Yeah, it was really nice to be able to do it. I mean, like, I listen to so much more than just punk,
Right.
And I guess, like, Pears happened because, like, all right, well, that's this, out of everything that I listen to, here's this thing that I'm good at, actually,
Right.
Like, I can't play everything that I listen to as much as I can. Like, deep down, I probably wish that, like, I was some sort of, like, Bob Movie, like, songwriter guy, but I'm not,
Oh, I wish I was like James Taylor. That guy makes a fortune. He's an amazing songwriter.
Hell yeah. But it's like, but that's not what this is what I do, and this is what I do well.
Right.
And so there's that, and getting to work on that other stuff was kind of like opening up a new door and discovering something else that, like, oh man, maybe I can actually do this. You know, maybe music like this isn't just going to be something that I'm restricted to only listening to. Maybe I can play it.
Yeah.
And that's really great, you know. And I've worked on like solo stuff I've done it over the course of the last 10 years so many times. I mean, there's so many songs that I've written and recorded at my house, but just you know, I never did anything with. And this was kind of like getting to actually do it, and it was really cool. It was really great.
Well, let's listen to one of the songs. This is off of Zach Quinn's One Week Record album. This one actually is one of my favorite. I don't know how you feel about it. I'm sure you love it because it's one of your babies. But this is Egg Train on Punk Rock Foodies Radio.
Oh, I love that song.
take me home.
All right, and we are back on Punk Rock Foodies Radio talking with Zach Quinn of the Pears. So you are, like I said, you're from Nolens, New Orleans, however you want to pronounce it. Greatest food city in the world, as far as I'm concerned. What is like one of your favorite meals? Like you said, you're on tour. You've been home 15 times since February. So, what's like the meal you love to go for when you get home?
I mean, getting home now, it's like I kind of just like jump into cocoon and just like sit in my house. Every time I'm out on a tour, I tell myself that I'm going to go home and eat all kinds of cool stuff and do all kinds of cool stuff. And but we haven't really been home long enough for me to recover to actually want to go do anything for a while.
Yeah.
But I'm about to be home for 3 weeks, and it's been one of my favorite sandwiches forever. But every time, the first thing that comes to mind is fried shrimp on bun from Birdie Mart, and that'll be the first meal.
Nice.
When I leave my house, not when I get home. Probably when I get home, it'll be like canned tuna, whatever other shit that's just laying around the house.
Peanut butter and jelly.
Yeah, totally like standard like kitchen bullshit. Yeah.
Well, so like when you're on tour, what do you guys generally eat when you're on tour?
Man, the meal situation for us is chaos because we often we have like long drives, and so unfortunately I eat a lot of crap that I don't want to eat, like fast food and gas station food is the worst. But when I get my pick, I really like to, especially because our sets are so physical.
Yeah.
I don't like to eat anything that's super, super heavy. I'm speaking for myself. I watch these guys eat like giant burgers all the time, and I don't know how they do it. But again, as physical as they are, they don't have to jump up and down, which I guess it just makes me. It'll make it. I feel like I'm going to throw up if I eat heavy food like that.
Right.
Yeah, I guess like my go-to for dinners would be like some sort of like, if there's meat, it's chicken, and preferably grilled. But it's just, I don't know, it's the lightest of the meats, it feels light. Like,
oh, absolutely.
It doesn't feel like a rock in my stomach,
Yeah.
But that and just veggies that's generally what I like to eat before shows, but a couple hours, obviously.
Is there a city you've been to that has, like, you've eaten at a restaurant where you're just like, I can't wait to get back to that city because I want that meal again?
Oh, yeah. Atomic Grill. That's, where the hell is that? I think it's in West Virginia.
It's so good, you can't remember where it is, you just know the name. That's awesome.
Yeah. Dude, it's amazing. It's West Virginia, and it's a buddy of ours, we met him doing, touring or whatever, and we played with his band, this guy Dano. He plays in this band called Yellow Dog Union, and he used to run a restaurant, stepped away from it just to do other things. But he used to run a restaurant called Atomic Grill, and they kind of pioneered like West Virginia barbecue.
Okay.
And man, I can't say enough good things about that food. So, I was just talking about how I don't like to eat heavy. This is absolutely heavy food. It's the heaviest food ever. And I totally shouldn't be eating shit like this, especially while we're on the road. But yeah, it's amazing. If you get a chance, you need to go. Where are you at?
I'm near Washington, D.C., so I'm actually pretty close to West Virginia.
Okay.
So,
okay.
Yeah. Okay, Atomic Grill.
It's really, really good.
Look it up.
Yeah. Their specials are always so creative, too. Oh, man, I don't even remember. I just remember being in awe.
Yeah. That makes it a good restaurant.
From that too.
That makes it a good restaurant.
Another really awesome thing that he did was that he had some, like, there was some creep in his restaurant that told him, like, you know, you'd get more customers if your waitresses showed more skin. So he did this campaign that he called Show More Skin. And it was like they had these potato skin specials that were a big hit. And he ran this whole campaign, got tons of people out, and just gave everybody that just donated all the money to a battered women's shelter.
Oh, good.
That's awesome. Just so fucking awesome.
That's great.
So cool.
That's good.
Yeah.
There's always
a really good guy. He's a really good guy.
There's always one drunk in the bar that knows how to do things better than everybody else in the bar. So yeah.
God, right? God, just shut the dude. Like, what? I don't know. That's so stupid to me. Like, let the people that are working do their job. God.
Yeah. So, do you do any cooking at all?
No, man. I'm way stupid. I can boil an egg. I can hard boil an egg, and I can make ramen, and I'm like the really, really, really basic shit. No, I'm not a cooking guy.
Okay, that's
I'm a
fair.
garbage disposal, though. I mean, I'll eat literally anything. But that also kind of makes me less interesting of a food like conversation because I'll eat garbage and just be like, that's fine.
That's all right. Brian was saying earlier about how he ate worms, so I mean, it's fair.
Right on, yeah. Yeah.
Well, I mean, you also have been on the road so much, you don't even have time to do much cooking, so it's fair enough. Even if you wanted to learn.
No.
But,
yeah, right. I mean, like, I'd love to get into it, but I don't have any time to do anything except sulk. Got all the time to do that.
Well, so what's going on with the Pears now? You guys are on tour. You said you're going to be taking a break here soon, but...
Well, yeah, we're going to take... we have 3 weeks off. We have, 8 more shows right now.
Okay.
We'll have 3 weeks off, and then we head overseas. We're doing a UK tour with Bouncing Souls.
Nice.
Some mainland stuff with Wilhelm and Off With Our Heads. I think there's even a couple Authority Zero shows in there.
Wow.
And then we'll come back. Then we've got a West Coast tour with Direct Hit. And then other stuff this year that I can't talk about yet. Special stuff, really cool stuff. But yeah, that's what's on the docket currently.
You mentioned Off of Their Heads. It you guys have a connection. It wasn't Anxious and Angry. Were you on their record label there? Or,
yeah, Ryan essentially gave us our live.
Okay.
I mean, we played our first show with Off of Their Heads in New Orleans, and Ryan really loved it. And we kept in touch. When we put out Go to Prison originally, we self-released it. We couldn't even begin to afford vinyl. We didn't even think of it.
Yeah.
We put out the CD. Ryan heard the record and was like, you guys can't afford vinyl. I'll pay for it. I'll put it out on my handle, Anxious and Angry. And he's been our biggest fucking cheerleader ever since. I mean, that dude is a saint. He essentially, with Anxious and Angry, and then with putting out, playing us on his show and putting us out on his label, I feel like he gave us an audience right out of the gate, which is such a luxury,
Yeah.
I mean, he's one of the biggest reasons that I think we're able to work at the capacity that we do right now.
Yeah. No, I can see the connection. I mean, there's definitely a nice blend between your sound and their sound. So, the audience is pretty similar. So that would definitely open it up to you guys. So,
yeah.
All right. Well, let's listen to a little bit more Pears here. Thank you so much, Zach, for joining us.
Of course. Anytime.
We'll listen to the title track here off of their latest album, Green Star. This is Green Star on Punk Rock Foodies Radio.
The best one on the record. Good choice.
Driving misery, a mirror of my world. How this spectacles with them. Rolling into bleedings from the buzzards in the sun. Don't allow me to sleep in my crib. I dream of you and then I dream of something else. I lost all people for what's more. The counting things I have failed once again. The kids that I cannot ignore. Inside of this crater I have come for days. For any small slither moments lived, we played. I wanted to save you. Haven't the strength to save us both. I long to be near you. The ship is now miles out from my coast. I still get the messages. The figures of life will bring you back. What was almost blinding, fades only to black. Hey! Alone, confused with the body I abuse. Silenced by a monster in my place. Defeat, passenger seat. Driver steals my voice and where's my fate? I wanted to save you. I haven't the strength to save us both. I long to be near you. The ship is now miles out from my coast. I still get your messages. The uses that mean the world to me. They call them my mother. Spawning down at the proud little boy I used to be. This river runs to all I've ever desired. I watch up my purpose, drowning on the surface, in envy of what he became, a dying green star.
Punk Rock Foodies!
All right, I'd like to thank Steve, Brian, and Skate Rad, even though she couldn't be here. I'd like to thank Zach of the Pairs. Check them out when they're on tour. They're going to be taking a break, but they're workhorses. Also, check out his record on 1 Week Records. You can get the entire catalog of 1 Week Records for like $20, all downloadable. Great music on that on Joey's label. I'd like to thank the people at the Vicious Pig Saloon. Check out Burning Rose Studios for all your video and graphic needs. And check out Betty Gear. And when you are on Facebook, come on over to Punk Rock Foodies. Almost 4,500 members. Make food, post a pic. It's that fucking simple, everybody. Bone ape tit.
I got my spleen, I got my liver cell, can barely breathe, but I have time for you, can't see the sand, what about your insides, and gonna spill, beneath the sun rays, I got my emerald, I got my emerald, I got my emerald, I got my better gold.
Sophie, I'm almost done here with these knuckleheads, and then I'll deal with you knuckleheads.